Hey. Devils versus the Woolwich Wildcats. McDonald in for the faceoff. Martin chips that in over the Wildcats blue line. Goes in on the attack. McDonald reaching for it. Wildcats chip it up the center. Lifted in over the right side to the near corner of the Devils territory. Hinneman strips it in the corner. Hinneman plays it behind the net to the far point. Carlo chips it out over the blue line to center ice. Big pass intended for Martin, just out of his reach. Picked up by the Wildcats. They'll bring it down the right side. Through center ice, Hinneman stops him there at the blue line. Sends it across center for Martin. He'll chip it into the near corner. Martin picks up the loose puck, throws it out front. Wildcats intercept and bring it out through center ice. Hinneman steers his man to the outside. Wildcats play behind the net to the far corner. Carlo pokes it forward to the half court. Shot off the side of the net. Rebound goes to the far corner. Wildcats dump it out front. Hinneman plays it off the far wing. Carlo chips it up through center ice. Wildcats backing over the right side. Hinneman behind the net. To Marlborough to the point. That doesn't clear. And the Wildcats dump it around the net to the near half boards. Hinneman lifts that up the middle for Barth. Takes a funny bounce. Wildcats pick it up with their blue line. Dump it back in the Devils' territory. Paquette back to pick it up. Up to Barth, who tips it out to center ice. Wildcats dump it back in. Bray with a good stick gets it to Topner down the right side. Topner running out of room. Gets it in the zone. Barth sends it to the far corner. Bray in on the forward check. Wildcats to the blue line. Paquette keeps it in. Got through traffic. And that somehow stayed out. 13:05 to go in the period. Smith in for the faceoff. Gets that to the near corner. Wildcats with Freer pressuring. Tried to kick it behind their net. Smith pushes his man to the far side. Wildcats up to the half boards. Smith pressuring, gets it to Douglas at center. Douglas back at the Devils blue line. Paquette picks it up, sends it across for Topner up the wing to Freer. Pass center. Wildcats intercept it. Bring it in over the Devils blue line. Shot blocked by Douglas. Goes to the far corner. Smith's on it. They'll send it to Douglas waiting at the blue line. Douglas down the right side. In over the Wildcats end to the far corner. Douglas under pressure. Gets it to the point. Marble with a quick shot. Out missed wide. Freer sends the rebound back behind the Wildcats net. And they'll bring it up past through center off the foot of Martin. He chips it down the left wing. And over the Wildcats blue line is Martin. Picks it up behind the net. Throws it out front to Marlborough at the point. He reels it in and goes in to the corner. Plays it back behind. Wildcats intercept. Tried to break out. Martin blocks it at the half boards. Wildcats do get it to the blue line. Hindeman keeps it in. Wildcats bounce the puck across the blue line just out of McDonald's reach. Down over the icing line of the Devils' end. We got our second whistle of the game. 11:40 to go in the period. McDonald in for the face-off. Loose puck comes to McDonald in his feet. Wildcats to the blue line, just past Martin. Wildcats down the right side. Stop there at the Devils' end by Hindeman. He chips it back towards the Wildcats' blue line, and they'll hit the mesh and out of play. McDonald steps in for the faceoff, wins that back. Topner at center, swings for it. Wildcats chip that to the far corner. Paquette's there, sends it behind the net to the near corner. Topner to Martin. Back to Topner. Can't seem to get it past the Wildcats offense. Going towards the net, intercepted Martin. Cross ice pass intended for Parlow, picked off by the Wildcats. They'll dump it around behind the Devils net to the near side. Martin, lead pass from McDonald. That hops over his stick. McDonald strips it. Sends it to Parlo, who lets it go. Martin with a shot. And held for the whistle. Marcinko steps in to take the face-off. Wins that back to Marlborough. Another quick shot, just wide. Rebound. Played up to center ice by the Wildcats. Back to Marlborough in his own end. Marlborough off the near wing to Bray. Bray picks it up at center ice. Gave it over the Wildcats blue line. And to go back to Barth. Back to Bray in the corner. That'll come up to Hindeman at the blue line. Misplayed. And Hindeman's going to the box there. 2 minutes for interference. Picked off by Paquette. Here's cleared out to the near wing. Marcinko bumps his man at the half boards. Marlborough lets it go to the corner. Wildcats up the wing. Cross ice pass. Almost picked off by Barth. They'll play it back to the near side. Marcinko pressuring. Paquette behind the net. That hit a stick. Marlborough gloves it down. Plays it off the wing. Not out. Wildcats walk out front. Shot tipped in front. That goes over the glass and out of play. Smith in for the, Bray in for the face-off. One back by the Wildcats to the blue line. Across to the near side. Shot through traffic. Blocker saved by Milks. Rebound comes to Parlo. He'll send that down the right side. Wildcats pick it up back on their own end. Parlo pressuring. Almost strips it. Wildcats down the right side. Send it behind the Devils' net to the far corner. Paquette ties up his man. Wildcats still on it at the half boards. Spinning to the corner. Goes to the blue line. Quick shot. Broken stick. Paquette pokes at that. Couldn't get it out of the zone. Wildcats still in tight. Shot. Missed wide. Rebound comes all the way around the rink to the Wildcats near corner. Marcinko lost there at the Devils' blue line. Topner. And Marcinko comes up with it behind the net. Throws it past the Douglas, picked off by the Wildcats. Under the near the far corner. Smith on the forecheck. Douglas with a quick shot. Throws his man down. Paquette picks it up and over the left wing. Drives it to the near corner. McDonald behind the net. Throws it up front. Marlborough watching. Shoots. That sailed just over the net. McDonald on the rebound in the far corner. Leaves that for Parlo, who gets bumped in the corner. Back to McDonald. In deep. Out to Parlo. His shot. Bad save by the Wildcats goaltender. Wildcats beginning to break out. Getting center ice and then over the left side of the Devils' territory. Good stick by Hindeman. Gets the puck to the far corner. He'll play it behind the net to Marlborough. Marlborough up through center. Parlo knocks that down. Wildcats are right there. Sent it down the left side. Hindeman blocks it. Sends it back towards the Wildcats bench. And they'll chip it into the far corner. Marlborough up the middle for Martin. Waiting at the Wildcats blue line. Martin across intended for Parlo. That hops over the stick and goes to the far corner. Wildcats back up to center. Marlborough intercepts it. He'll bring it in over the left wing. Marlborough fires it behind the Wildcats net. They'll lift that up through center. And we'll call it a hand pass. 4:41 to go in the period. Marcinko in for the face-off. Marcinko kicks it forward. Barth picks it up down the right side. Centering pass off Marcinko's foot. Goes back to the corner for Barth. Barth behind the net out front. Picked off by the Wildcats. They'll bring it through center ice. And over the left wing of the Devils' territory to the far corner. Barth and Paquette in the corner, shot from point blank. Milks makes a big pass save. Rebound, cleared down the ice. Into the Wildcats' end. Bray on the forecheck, icing waved off. Wildcats send it around the far side. Through center ice and in over the Devils' blue line. Stop there, picked off by Barth. Barth takes it back the other direction. He's alone. And over the right side to the corner. Barth behind the net. Holds it there while the rest of his line changes. Smith pressuring. Wildcats clear that to center. Paquette shot from center ice. On target and reeled in for the whistle. That's why it'll never work. No acting suicidal. Smith in for the faceoff. Wildcats clear that down the left side. Marlborough stops from there at center ice. Chips it into the far corner. That'll roll behind their net. Smith on the forecheck. Gets a piece of it to the near side. Up to Hindeman at the point. Hindeman winds up, lets the shot go off. That was blocked. Rebound goes to Marlborough on the far side. Wildcats at the far half boards. Freer almost stripped it. Wildcats up the right side. Stop there at the blue line. Freer picks up the loose puck. Devils penalty, number 17, William Hindeman. It's 2 minutes for body contact. I thought they were calling one on Wildcats. One referee signaled it, but 3:13 to go in the period. Donald backing for the face-off. Wins it back. Marlborough couldn't clear it. Woolwich, or Wildcats play back to the point. Dumped into the far corner. Overstepped it. Paquette on his man. Wildcats behind the Devils' goal. Shipped to the near corner. Marlborough tied up. Wildcats come out with it to the point. Dumped back into the near corner. Marlborough tying up his man. Let's get a handle on it. It's around the near wing. Martin chipping for it. Wildcats maintain possession in the near corner. Centering pass. Paquette turns and fires it down the ice. McDonald pressuring. Wildcats. Bring it up through center. Pass across. In over the Devils' blue line. Good stick there by Topner to clear the zone. 50 seconds to go in the penalty. Wildcats in over the Devils' blue line through the middle. Topner comes across, kicks it to the near corner. Paquette turns, rifles it down. That'll settle down behind the Wildcats' goal. Parlow pressuring from the center of the zone. Wildcats up the right side. Cross center, backhand pass in over the blue line, offside. 27 seconds to go on the penalty. Marcinko in for the draw. Bouncing puck. Marcinko shovels that to the far side. Topner on the loose puck. Chips it down the right wing. Shot from outside the zone. On target. Wildcats behind their net. Up the right side, pass through the middle, almost picked off by Parlow. He gets knocked over. Marcinko picks up on the mistake, walks through the middle, quick shot, doesn't get all of it. Parlow following up, couldn't get his backhand down. Wildcats back the other way, back to 5-on-5. Marcinko tries to get it deep. Wildcats back in the Devils' territory to the near corner. Bray lifted in over the Devils' blue line. Marlborough under pressure, centering pass, Paquette retakes it out, and the Devils are going to the power play. Played up the near wing, Freer. Outlet pass intended for Barth, just out of his reach. Wildcats touch it for the whistle. Wildcats get a piece of it and send it down into the Devils' territory. Milks sets it there for Martin. Under pressure, Martin passed across to McDonald on the open wing down the right side and over the blue line. McDonald trying to cut in front. He gets hauled down. Loose puck corralled by the Wildcats, and that'll do it for the first period. All right, here we go to start the second period. Devils got their power play line out. Hindeman in to take the face-off. Hindeman wins it back. Marlborough back at the Devils' blue line. Being chased into the zone. Skates around his man. Accosted. Gets it across to McDonald. Down the right side and over the blue line. Gets it to Parlow. Parlow under pressure, reaching for it. Back to McDonald, to the corner. Cross ice to Parlow, quick shot. Just over the top of the net and out of play. Hindeman back in for the draw. One back by the Wildcats. McDonald plays it back to center ice for Marlborough. Marlborough to McDonald down the right side. In over the Wildcats blue line. McDonald cuts to the middle. To the outside. Shoots. Just wide of the net. Hindeman trying to grab that loose puck. McDonald picks it up in the far corner. Kicks it to a skate. Out to Martin with a shot. And the Wildcats goaltender's on fire. He makes that save. 49 seconds to go and a penalty. Marcinko in for the draw. Bouncing puck. Chopner reaching for it. Had it lost in the linesman's skates. The Wildcats dumped that down the ice. Milks sets it there for Paquette. Paquette up the left side for Marcinko, back to Paquette, through center ice, in over the right wing, has a stick in his hand. Paquette behind the net, plays it to Barth on the corner, shot off the side of the net, rebound, sits there. Smith tries to bury it, couldn't quite get there in time. 16 seconds to go on the penalty. Marcinko on the face-off. Marcinko gets that in deep. Wildcats get the handle and play it out through center. And over the right side of the Devils' territory. Thrown through the middle. That puck comes to the near corner. Wildcats play it back behind the net to the far side. Back to 5-on-5. Paquette begins the breakout. Down wing. Smith back to Hindeman. To Topner. Topner's lead pass was blocked by the Wildcats. They'll bring it in over the Devils' blue line. To the far corner. Hindeman battling with Smith. Smith plays it behind the net to the near side. Topner intended for Marcinko. Dumped back in. Barth picks it up through center. Blocked there. Wildcats bring it back the other way. In over the Devils' blue line. Shot. Milks makes a save. Rebound. Kicked out to the far side. Wildcats still on the loose puck in the far corner. Topner ties up his man. Shovels the puck to the near corner for Barth. Barth to Martin through center and over the Wildcats blue line. They'll strip it, send it back to center ice. down the right side, around Topner. Topner swipes at it, gets the puck. Right up to the blue line, not out. Shot where it hits Martin's stick and goes up and out of play. Great back check by Topner. We got the puck before we got the man. 12 minutes to go in the period. McDonald in for the face-off. This puck picked up there by Parlow. He'll send it to center ice. Wildcats change the side, send it across. Dumped wide of the net. Marlborough around the near side for Martin at the half boards. He'll send that to center. Wildcats jump in, picked off by Hindeman. He'll turn, fire it around the near side. Martin ties up his man. Comes up with the puck, sends it out front. McDonald getting tripped, gets the puck to Hindeman. Out front to Martin. Martin winds up, shoots. And the Wildcats goaltender was there to keep that one out of the net. .25 to go in the period. Hindeman in for the draw. Wins that to McDonald. Under pressure, McDonald sends it to the corner. Keeps it there. He gets bumped. Wildcats up the right side to the blue line. Stopped there by Hindeman. And we'll say that was offside. Smith steps in to take the face off. One back by the Wildcats. They'll play it across the far wing. Smith's there. Under pressure. Bouncing puck through the feet of... Freer was there through the feet of Smith. Smith picks it up behind the Wildcats net. Throws it out front. Intercepted. Wildcats get it to the blue line. Hindeman keeps it in. Under pressure. He gets shoved off the puck. Wildcats down the left side. Douglas slows us down. Loose puck. Picked up by the Wildcats in the far corner. They'll throw it out to the blue line. That's kicked up to center ice by the Wildcats. Douglas pressuring. Wildcats to the near side. Long lead pass. They'll chip it into the far corner. Marlborough back to collect it. To Hindeman at the blue line. Back to Marlborough. Marlborough gets it to center and chips it into the near corner. That rolls behind the net to the far side of the Wildcats territory. Up through center, Paquette picks it off. Wildcats back up the left side this time. Through traffic, Marlborough ties up his man. Paquette on the puck, sends that to center ice. Wildcats send it back into the Devils territory. Marlborough hard around the far wing to the half boards, just behind Marcinko. Wildcats play it back to their blue line. Up down the left side. He'll get center ice and fire it around the boards to the far half boards. Paquette and Barth poke at it. Back to Paquette. He chips it up the wing and out to center. Wildcats jumped it in off their bench and out of play. 9:28 to go in the period. Donald in for the face-off. Picked up by Martin. Big pass intended for Parlow off his back foot. Wildcats backhand that into the Devils territory and pick it up in the near corner. Centering pass off a foot. McDonald strips it for a second. Quick shot, missed wide. Wildcats in the near corner, centering it. Parlow, backhand pass up to Martin, in over the blue line. Martin hits the brakes, steers it towards the net. McDonald goes flying. Paquette picks it up at center ice, off the wing. In just offside. McDonald in for the face-off. Wins that back. Marlborough across to Hinneman. Hinneman in over the right wing. Pushes off as the attacker. Takes the puck behind the net. Out the far side, Hinneman lays it off the boards to Marlborough, who sends it behind the net to the near corner. Martin gets a little bit of a shove. Loose puck, picked up by Parlow. He tries to play it off the wing. Wildcats pick it up, played up through center. Marlborough back, turns and dumps it back out to center ice. McDonald kicks it up the left side, in over the blue line. McDonald with it, tries to get it across, in his feet. Hinneman steps in. McDonald spinning, gets a shot off the post. That will deflect over the glass and out of play. 8:08 to go in the period. McDonald doing a good job keeping the puck in the zone and getting the shot off. Smith on the face-off, tied up by the Wildcats to the blue line. Marlborough keeps it in. Freer chips it off the wing. Smith on the loose puck, across to Hinneman. He plays it behind his back to the near corner. Hinneman tied up by his man. Freer steps in to try to dig the puck out. Freer trying to get a different angle. It's frozen, so that'll get the whistle. 7:38 to go in the period. Smith in for the faceoff. Douglas ties his man up. Wildcats get a piece of the puck. Off the glass, down the left or right side. Into the Devils' territory. And it's icing. Smith steps in to take the face-off. Bouncing puck. Douglas trying to pressure his way through it. Wildcats take it behind the net out the far side to the blue line and out. Wildcats down the right side. Topner stops him there and sends it back to the Wildcats blue line. Wildcats up the center. This play, they'll get center ice and fire it in. That miss wide. Topner plays it back to the near corner for Paquette. Paquette steps around one. He gets bumped into the boards. And then dumped, but he gets the puck down the ice into the Wildcats territory. Douglas on the forecheck. Wildcats to center ice. Paquette chips it back in. Douglas still pressuring. Wildcats deep in their end. Up through center, misplayed. Paquette got his backhand on that, dumps it in. Wildcats up the left side. They'll get center and chip it into the Devils' territory behind the net. Topner off the wing. Takes a funny hop. Topner swipes at it. Bouncing puck. Paquette gets it to the far boards. Wildcats off the side of the net. Picked up by Marcinko. He'll send it up the near side for Barth. Across behind Bray. Bray leaves it there for Marcinko, who takes it to the far corner. Out front. Wildcats clear that back behind their net. Wildcats up the near side. Barth intercepts it. Keeps it in. Drives it back in deep. Bray to Barth. Barth with a backhand. Loose puck. Covered by the goaltender for the whistle. .5:49 to go in the period. Marcinko in for the draw. Marcinko wins that. Marlborough has that jump over a stick. Wildcats pressuring. Marlborough back to the blue line, kept there. Centering pass one time, misfired. Rebound goes to the far corner. Marcinko picks it up. Marcinko off the wing to Barth, down the right side and over the blue line. Barth to the corner, centering pass. That comes to Hinneman at the point. He'll play it back in behind the Wildcats net. They chip it down the near side. Up through the middle. Hinneman back in his own end. Plays it behind the net to the far near corner for Marlborough. Marlborough off the boards up the center. McDonald breaks it up. Gains the blue line. McDonald cuts to behind the net. Bit of a hook. Throws it out front. Marcinko with the shot. Hits the goaltender. McDonald back along the far wing. Cuts in through traffic. Gets the puck to the far corner. Wildcats to the blue line. Paquette with a shot off the blocker and over the glass. .446 to go in the period. McDonald in for the faceoff. One back by the Wildcats. Martin on his man. Harlow pinching behind the net. Wildcats chipping around him. Up the near side to the blue line. Before they'll skate it out. Sent it down through center ice. And that'll be icing. .432 to go in the period. McDonald in for the faceoff. McDonald kicks up behind the net, throws it out front, loose puck. Missed just wide. McDonald picks it up behind the Wildcats net. He'll send that to the near corner for Carlo. He gets bumped. Wildcats play it around the near wing. Paquette holds the blue line, gets it back to Parlo, who chips it around the boards behind the Wildcats net. They'll pick it up. Up the left side. Off the glass. Past everybody. Wildcats pick it up and over the Devils blue line. Shot. Nooks holds on to that one. Gets a bit of a snow job. And they're just going to give him a warning, I guess. Because he didn't do that on purpose. First things first, recipe stuff is there. 4:02 to go on the period. Marcinko in for the face-off. One back by the Wildcats. They'll play it in the corner. Hinneman sends it around the far point. Kept there by the Wildcats. Lifted to the near corner. Bray off the glass to center. Wildcats intercept it. We'll try to bring it back. Good stick by Hinneman to get the puck to Marcinko. He gets stripped before he can get the zone. And again, Hinneman breaks up the rush. Barth, at center, bumps his man, drives the puck in over the blue line. Wildcats pass up through the middle. Chipped wide of the net. Hinneman gets tied up. Marcinko shovels the puck to the corner, and the Wildcats are there to keep hold of it. The Wildcats to the blue line. Shot blocked by Chopper, or Barth rather. Couldn't clear it. Wildcats out front. Hinneman picks up a loose puck. Lead pass for Barth in over the blue line to the far corner. He's at the end of a shift. He's tired. Barth behind the net. Throws it out front behind Hinneman. That puck will roll back to the Devils blue line. Marlborough off the near side. Freer tips out at center. Wildcats send it back to the Devils blue line. Marlborough cross to Hinneman. Behind Douglas. That'll go all the way down for icing. .237 to go in the period. Smith in for the face-off. Bouncing puck picked up by Freer. He still steers that to the outside. Wildcats chip it to the corner. Going across. The tip in. Couldn't get a handle on it. Wildcats played it across the far blue line. Shot through traffic. Deflected wide to the near boards. Played back to the point. Wildcats shot through traffic and they scored. Period. Donald in for the faceoff. Ties it up. Wildcats kick it towards the Devils blue line. Hinneman shovels that down the wing. In over the Wildcats blue line. Wildcats play it out. Down the right side, in over the Devils blue line to behind the net. Hinneman bumped off the puck. Wildcats popped it up. McDonald, Martin, and Barlow up through center. Martin kicks it into the corner. Played to the blue line. Hinneman kept it in. Barlow across to McDonald. Loose puck picked up by the Wildcats. They'll bring it down the right side. In over the Devils blue line. Centering attempt. Hinneman couldn't clear it. Loose puck in traffic. Wildcats play to the far boards. Martin across to Barlow. Barlow through center in over the blue line. Passed across to Martin. Scores! Devils goal scored by number 88, Joey Martin. Assisted by number 23, Tyus Barlow. Time of the goal, 1:22 to go in the second period. We're all tied up at 1. Marcinko in for the face-off. One forward, Barth drives it over the blue line. Wildcats chip it back the other direction. In over the right side, Topner kicks his puck to the far corner. Marcinko steps in to pick it up. Marcinko just past Smith. That'll go down for icing. 1:05 to go in the period. Marcinko on the draw. Gets it back to Topner, who plays behind the net for Parlo, or Paquette. Paquette up the middle. Barth tips that in over the blue line. Cleared there by Wildcats. Smith intercepted it. Marcinko with a shot. Wildcats goaltender wasn't sure where the rebound went. Unfortunately, it was out to the outside. Wildcats to their blue line. Struggling to get it out. Smith and Marcinko back in over the left side. Quick shot into the glove and held for the whistle. .35 seconds to go in the period. Hinneman steps in for the faceoff. Hinneman wins it back to Martin up the blue line, just out. McDonald in for the draw. Just outside the Wildcats' blue line. He wins it back. Marlborough steers it towards the blue line. The Wildcats muscle their way in. Hinneman off the wing. Just overskated it. Parlo steps in. Gains the zone. Shot through traffic off the shin guards. Centers it. Wildcats way over the glass. Straight at one of the Devils fans. Hopefully they're all right. So we're going to play the last 10 seconds after the flood while they attend to the All right, so we're back to finish the second period. Just over 10 seconds to go. Hinneman stepping in to take the face off. Wins that back to McDonald. Quick shot through traffic. That was blocked. Comes out of the zone. McDonald picks it up along the right side. Sends that into the zone at the buzzer. That'll do it for the second period. We're tied up at 1 apiece. Here we go to start the third. McDonald steps in to take the face-off. There's that back. Wildcats chip it in over the zone. Hinneman to the blue line. Poked out by McDonald. He'll kick that up the right wing. McDonald in over the blue line. Throws it across to the near corner. That comes to Marlborough at the point. His shot deflected. Marlborough with another shot. It's just missed wide. Rebound goes all the way down into the Devils' territory. Milks stops it there for Hinneman. He picks it up. Played that to Marlborough. Up to Martin at center. In over the blue line is McDonald. Martin with a quick shot. Comes to Hinneman at the point. He misfired, couldn't get it. Wildcats bring it back the other way. Quick shot. He scored. Boys. Wildcats score. 14-17 to go in the third period. Marcinko in for the face-off. Ties that up. Wildcats chip it in over the Devils' blue line. Topner off the wing. Wildcats play that out the right side. Paquette through center ice. Gets the zone. Then gets bumped off. Topner fires that down the wing. Smith in over the blue line, gets it to the far corner. Sets it there for Marcinko. Marcinko behind the Wildcats net. Chipped forward. Smith in the corner getting pressured. Wildcats send it out the far side. Paquette pinching. Gets it to the half board. The Wildcats intercept it. Smith across to Marcinko, who sends that into the near side. Wildcats are onto the far corner. Paquette at the half boards, comes off. Throws it towards the net. Blocked there. To the blue line. Topner keeps it in. Wildcats intercepted. Marcinko got a stick on to get it to the near corner. Right out front to the blue line. Topner again keeps it in. Barth chips that down. Wildcats send it down the ice. Icing waved off. Topner hits the brakes and gets it to the near corner. Topner up to Douglas and chips it forward. Stopped there by Wildcats. Freer touches it off a hand pass. .12:51 to go in the period. Bray in for the faceoff. Bray wins it back to Marlborough. Marlborough back in the Devils' territory, off the wing to center. Wildcats send it back in over the Devils' blue line. Marlborough across to Douglas. He gets center ice and chips it down the right wing to the far corner. Freer and Douglas on the puck. Wildcats come up with it in the far corner. Played up the near side. Wildcats down the right wing in over the blue line. Going across the crease. Douglas picks it up. Gets it up through center. In over the Wildcats blue line. And picks it up in the corner. Thrown on net. Rebound. Kicked out to the far side. Wildcats play that up to center ice. Hindeman across to Marlborough. He turns and fires. Wildcats goaltender covers it for the whistle. With 12 minutes to go in the period. McDonald in for the face-off. Wildcats win that to the corner. Carlo couldn't reel it down. Through the Devils blue line. Topner up the right side. Wildcats steal that. Send it high through center ice and over the Devils blue line to the far near corner. Played behind the net. Carlo's there to pick it up. Carlo out the middle. Good stick by McDonald to get that to Martin in over the blue line. Shot into the glove and held for the whistle. McDonald in for the face-off. One back by the Wildcats. They'll play it behind their net out the far side. Wildcats to the half boards. Tipped it up to the blue line. Paquette's there to keep it in. He'll send it in off the boards. Behind the Wildcats net. Carlo in the near corner. Got stripped of it. Wildcats. Martin's there to help. Back to Parlow. Thrown off the side of the net. Martin out front. Loose puck. Covered for the whistle. .11:06 to go in the period. McDonald back in for the draw. Has that in his feet. Wildcats get it to the far half boards. McDonald pinned there. Wildcats come up with it. Martin almost stripped it and walked in front. Wildcats behind the net. Out. Looked it high into the mesh and out of play. And the Wildcats are going to the penalty box. 2 minutes for holding. So the Devils go back to the power play. Hindeman in for the face-off. One back by the Wildcats. They'll play it on the wing. Marlborough pinches up to keep it in. Marlborough walks into the corner. Off the wing to Parlow. Grabbed there by the Wildcats. They'll send it into the Devils' territory. Milks sets it there for McDonald. McDonald behind the net. Out through center ice. Gets a bit of a slash. McDonald in over the blue line. Cuts to the middle. Marlborough grabs the loose puck. Takes it to the near corner. Going across the ice. Loose puck in the blue paint. Still loose. And the net's off. And I believe the Wildcats are going to the box for cross-checking. So the Devils with a 5-on-3 for a minute 23 or less. Hindeman stepping in to take the face-off. It's out to Parlow. Plays it to the far corner for Martin. Martin to the blue line to McDonald. He walks in. Takes off a hit shot. Score! Devils goal scored by number 11, Owen McDonald. Assisted by number 88, Joey Martin. Harlow and McDonald having a meeting of the minds in the corner after that goal. So we're all tied up at 2. The Devils still on the power play. Come on, boys, let's get another. Hindeman back in for the faceoff, wins it back. McDonald to Marlborough. Marlborough taking it down the right side and over the blue line to the corner, hits the brakes. Marlborough up to McDonald at the point. McDonald to Barth with a shot off the pads. Wildcats get the rebound and fire that down the ice. Milks sets it up behind his net for Marlborough. He left it there for McDonald. He wasn't aware of that. McDonald peels back, picks up the loose puck and sends it to Marlborough, who clears the zone. Marlborough to Hindeman in over the blue line. He sends it around the wing to the near side for Barth. Barth at the blue line, plays it back to the corner behind the Wildcats net. Grabbed there by Martin. He gets tangled up. Wildcats in the corner. Hindeman pressuring. Martin steps in to give him a hand. 1 minute to go on the penalty. Martin comes up with the puck to McDonald. Back to Martin and cutting in deep. Gets the shot off. Loose puck. Tipped by Hindeman and he scores! That is goal scored by number 17, William Hindeman. Assisted by number 88, Joey Martin. .9:01 to go in the period. Devils get their first lead of the game. We're back to 5-on-5. Marcinko steps in for the faceoff. One to the near side. Wildcats chip it around the wing behind the Devils net. Paquette sends it around to the blue line out of the reach of Smith. Wildcats dump it back in. Paquette tried to send it off the glass, missed high and goes out of play. Marcinko in for the draw, deep in the Devils' territory. Wildcats win it, play to the blue line, shot. Just missed Topner. Wildcats pick it up in the near corner. They'll play back to the point. Shot through traffic, tipped. Rebound out the far side. Paquette's there to play it around the far wing. Smith up the right side and over the blue line. Hits the brakes. Gets it to Marcinko, who walks in, shot. Blocked in front. Smith on the rebound. Played back to Marcinko, who plays it up to Paquette at the point. Paquette throws on that, tipped just wide. Topner pinching, keeps it in deep to Marcinko, who plays it behind the net to the far corner. Wildcats ship it to the half-boards. Paquette pinching, shovels it back into the corner. Wildcats try the near side. Topner pinching. Wildcats play that through center. Barth had that go through his feet, gets back, and gets the puck to Paquette. Lead pass for Topner at center ice. He swipes at it. Wildcats misplayed. Topner chips it to the blue line, just in. Wildcats clear that down the right side in over the Devils' blue line to the near corner. Paquette back to pressure him. Wildcats in the far side. Off the boards, walked in front. Milks makes the save. Rebound picked up by the Wildcats to the near side. Marcinko with a good stick. Pokes it off Topner. Around the wing to Barth at the half-boards. Barth stopped there by the linesman. He does get it back and get it out. Marcinko at center ice. Marcinko in over the blue line. Douglas just offside. 7:14 to go in the period. Ray in for the faceoff. Wins it forward. Douglas jumps on it, gets it to the near corner. Douglas plays it out front. Nolan's home. Wildcats out over the blue line through center. In over the Devils' end. Douglas with a good back check. Breaks it up in the near corner. Freer on the loose puck. And the Devils going to the penalty box. Number 20, Dante Douglas. 2 minutes for head contact. 6:55 to go in the third period. McDonald on the draw. One back by the Wildcats. Off the wing, McDonald intercepted it. Lifts that to center ice. Wildcats knock it down on their own end. Martin pressuring. Played out the far side. Off the wing, McDonald swipes at it. Wildcats in over the Devils blue line. Centering pass. McDonald got a piece of it, sends it down the left side behind the Wildcats net. The Wildcats bring it up the right side. McDonald bumps his man. Marlborough on the loose puck. Turns and rifles it down the opposite side. That'll go behind the net to the near corner. 1:15 to go in the penalty. Wildcats up the right side. In over the Devils blue line. Marlborough takes out his man. And they're calling him for tripping. So the Devils with another penalty. And the Wildcats with a 5-on-3 advantage. For 1:09. McDonald in for the face-off. Paquette gets a piece of it, sends it down the ice. Wildcats deep in their end. Begin the breakout down the left side, cutting back through the middle. McDonald slowing them down. Wildcats to the far corner, played to the top of the point. Shot. Left shoulder, they scored. Tie us up to 3. Devils still down a man for 1:34. We got a tie game again. Barth in for the face-off. One back by the Wildcats. Barth pressuring at their blue line. Misplayed. Barlow sends it back to the zone. Barth in over the blue line. Shot just wide. Rebound comes to Topper at the center ice. He'll fire that down the left wing. Barlow with a nifty move. Throws it out in the middle. Barth to Parlow. His shot was blocked. 1 minute to go on the Devils penalty. Parlow pressuring Wildcats up through center. In over the Devils blue line. Play broken up by Paquette. Throwing up front shot. Misfired. Nooks makes the pad save. Rebound picked up by Barth. He'll turn and fire that to the blue line and out. Wildcats back at center. Regrouping at neutral ice, send it across, in offside. Guess he didn't touch it. Topner intercepts that cross ice pass. Down the left wing, Topner to the corner, lifts it off the glass, behind the net to the far side. Martin pressuring. 25 seconds to go on the penalty. Martin peels back to the blue line. Misfired by the Wildcats. They'll send it across the near side, up the right wing, in over the Devils blue line. Paquette in a foot race to the near corner. Ties up his man, gets the puck up the wing to Martin. Martin down the left side, in over the Wildcats blue line to the corner. He'll hit the brakes, back to 5-on-5. McDonald regrouping at center ice. Changes directions back in over the blue line. McDonald peeling through traffic, tries to play it through the legs. Puck's at the near half boards, gets it in deep for Martin to the corner. Martin behind the net, throws it up front. Off the side of the Wildcats defense. They'll bring it out through center and lift it into the Devils territory. Hinneman slowing his man down. Wildcats on the puck in the near corner. Good stick by Hinneman. Breaks it up, gets the puck to Martin. Martin to Smith. Smith across to McDonald in over the blue line. McDonald cutting to the opposite wing. Throws it up front. Loose puck cleared out of the way by the Wildcats. who bring it back the other direction. Pass across ice, that'll be icing. With 3:11 to go in the period. Marcinko in for the face-off. Back, quick shot by Barth, and he scores! Devils goal scored by number 6, Ryan Barth. Assisted by number 7, Braden Marcinko. Time of the goal, 3:08 to go in the third period. Marcinko in for the face-off. Has that in his legs. Picks it up through center. Comes to Bray, misfired. Barth backs him up and sends it around the net to the near corner for Marcinko. Marcinko sends it out front. Bray has it in his feet, not sure where it is. Does get it to the near corner. Wildcats off the glass and out of play. .251 to go in the period. McDonald stepping in for the face-off. Has that in his feet. Wildcats lifted up the boards. Topner stops it there at the blue line. His shot was blocked and goes back to center ice. McDonald sends that to the opposite corner. Martin pressuring. Wildcats play behind the nets on the near side. Up the wing. Pass across. That was kicked in over the Devils' blue line. Not enough for icing. Paquette back to collect it. Hits the brakes. Gets tangled up. Wildcats play to the far corner. Parlow picks that one off. Lead pass for Martin. Martin down the left side. Sends the puck around the boards behind the net. Parlow in hot. Comes up with it. He gets cross-checked. Maybe not. He just magically fell by himself. McDonald in for the face-off. 2:09 to go in the period. Wildcats come up with it. Out the right side. They'll send it down the ice. In behind the Devils' net. Paquette sends it around to the far half boards. Wildcats are there. Parlow pressuring. Gets it off the boards again. Wildcats chip it back to the corner. Paquette off the glass. That'll go down at center ice. Wildcats back on their own end. Martin pressuring. Wildcats out the far side. They'll chip it around Paquette. McDonald back to pick it up in the far corner. McDonald off the wing to the blue line. Martin to Parlow down the left side. Parlow hits the brakes, lets the shot go. That was blocked. Rebound. Backhand shovel towards the net. 1:35 to go in the period. Wildcats up the right side. Marlborough gets that down towards the Wildcats blue line. Martin just a half stride behind. Wildcats bring it back the other way. Chip it in behind the Devils net. Intimate around the wing. And they'll call that icing with 1:17 to go. Wildcats call a timeout. Wildcats have their goalie pulled and the extra attack around. got 6 on 5 with an empty net. Hinneman in for the faceoff, wins that one back. Marcinko gets it to the half boards. Wildcats played out front. Marcinko on the loose puck. Still sits behind the Devils net. Hinneman pinning it along the boards. 1 minute to go in the third period. Marcinko pins it out. Gets away with that one. Hinneman up the left side. Icing waved off. Barth on the forecheck with Marcinko in the far corner. He gets a bit of a shot. 35 seconds to go. Smith steps in to help. Wildcats come up with it. Pass it to their blue line. Lift it up through center ice. Smith grabbed it. And Barth shoots from the face-off circle after the whistle and puts it in the net. Bit of an attention. Devils will change their lines. McDonald steps in for the face-off with 26 seconds to go in the period. McDonald wins it forward. Wildcats play it up the right side to the Devils' blue line. Martin there pressuring his man. Chipped into the Devils' territory. McDonald turns, fired, tipped with a high stick, and that'll get a whistle with 8.4 seconds to go in the period. Hinneman stepping in to take the face-off. One forward, Wildcats out the left side. Stop there at the Devils' blue line. Puck goes to center, chipped in on the net. Just wide, and the Devils win 4-3. Good game.